back to my channel. If you are new, I'm Naya. Nice to meet you. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Yeah, definitely. And also like this video if you guys like content like this or whatever the case may be. So as you can already tell by the title, y'all know what this story time is going to be about. So this is kind of different because it's supposed to be Vlogmas, but I never got a chance to come and actually do this story time, so I'm going to start Vlogmas off this way. I missed yesterday, which was the first. Today is the second, but things happen, you know. So let's just get into it. So, okay, I just want to start off by saying, I know it might, you see in the title, it says like horror, but to me, it was horror because of like, we'll get to that point. But so basically to start off, yes, y'all, clearly I had my precious baby boy. I had him at exactly 40 weeks in 1 day. So he was a little overdue. He was in there baking too much. But yes, I carried him fully to term, y'all. Thank God. Thank God. Y'all know, for those who have seen like my previous videos, y'all know like me going back and forth and like to the doctor and things like that excuse me, going back and forth to the doctor and things like that, you know, like I was having troubles during my pregnancy as far as like, you know, with like me taking a progesterone and everything like that. So yes, he is perfectly healthy. You guys will see him soon. But yeah, so basically he so okay, my due date was July 17th, 2024. I was doing a lot of walking, like towards the end of my pregnancy. I was doing a lot of walking, and like leading up to the weeks leading up to me actually giving birth to him, I was kind of nervous because I'm like, damn, like, you know, I've never, like I said, I never intended to. I've always, thank God, I always wanted to carry him to term. That was the goal, but I never expected to actually like go full term. So I expected, like, you know, I'm hitting 38 weeks, 39 weeks, and I'm like, okay, like he in there baking. Like, y'all, when I got to 39 weeks and 5 days, I knew, I'm like, no, this boy. But I had already told my doctor prior to that I didn't want to induce prior, like when I had one of my prior appointments, I had already told my doctor that I wasn't comfortable with inducing. So I was like, I want to wait it out. But y'all, I started to get nervous because I'm like, wait a minute, like this boy is in there, he is not trying to come out. So fast forward to the day of like my actual due date, I had a doctor's appointment, but y'all, I was so tired and like so just drained. My body was aching and hurting, and you know, I was cramping, so I just didn't go. And that was probably a mistake on my part, but then again, I feel like God don't make mistakes. So I feel like I didn't go, but then that day in the morning, we had went and got breakfast. We walked to get breakfast. So that was our first walk of the day. And then later on that evening, we kind of tried one of the famous ways to induce. I won't, you know, spill too much tea, but if you're a woman, I'm pretty sure you know what activity I'm talking about. So we tried a couple activities to induce labor, and then I kind of laid down for a while, but then I started to kind of feel like my body started to kind of do things that it wasn't doing. You know what I mean? So I'm like, wait, what's going on? So now fast forward to later on that night, I'm like, okay, like clearly nothing happened, like whatever. So I'm like, I was like, oh, I was nervous as hell to try this, y'all. But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna try the castor oil thing. I don't know if y'all ever heard about the castor oil hack, but if you're a woman and you know, like you've been pregnant, you probably know about the castor oil hack. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna try the castor oil. So of course, being that it was kind of later, a lot of this like pharmacies and stuff wasn't open. So we tried, I believe it was Rite Aid. I'm gonna try to insert that clip somewhere in here. But
so I think I'm gonna start this little vlog thing from now. I see me. Mosquitoes keep getting my man. So I've been trying to figure out, y'all. I'm 40 weeks today, and I'm 40 weeks today. I'm 40 weeks today, and still no baby. So I think, even though I didn't want to, I think I am gonna try the castor oil. I've been trying everything else. So we finna see.
So we ended up trying Rite Aid. They didn't end up having it. So we came home and we just was like, okay, well, we'll just wait it out and then we'll just see what happens. Because technically, like, I am supposed to be pregnant for 40 weeks. So I'm like, even though it was my due date and he was supposed to come that night, I'm like, you never know, you never know what might happen. Let's just wait it out. So we get back home. I'm in the bed. I'm relaxing. And, I was like, okay, I'm feeling a little crampy, but it's nothing too major. It's nothing too crazy. So I'm going to just take a nap. So I ended up taking a nap. And then I started to have like mild. I meant to mention that. I forgot to mention that. I did start to have like mild contractions a couple days prior, leading up to when I actually had him. But it was like it didn't feel like, all right, y'all, so I got cut off. But yeah, so I was having mild contractions like days before, leading up to when I actually end up having my son. And yeah, so I had mild contractions. So it wasn't a surprise that like I was kind of getting them as well, like the night leading up to like, the night I had him. So like I said, my due date was July 17th. So later on that night, like I said, I'll probably try to put that clip somewhere in here too. I was trying to vlog for y'all. I was trying to like do like a little process. I thought I was going to be in labor for a while. And like I thought I was going to be able to get that experience with y'all. But it went a whole nother way. So now fast forward, I called my doula because I'm like, okay, I'm feeling some things. Like, I don't really know what it is, but So then she was kind of saying like the way I was talking on the phone wasn't really indicating that I was in active labor, but I really was. Like, I ended up being in labor, but I just was on the phone. Like, we on the phone, we talking, and I'm like, yeah, I'm in here, they in here, like whatever, like I'm talking normal, and she's just like, well, it don't really sound like you in labor, so like I don't know if you should like kind of go to the hospital because I don't want them to send you home or whatever. But then literally, y'all, I don't know what it was. Literally, as soon as we had that conversation, my contractions started to come, and then they started to come in waves. And then they were coming very, very close. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous. I'm like, but I couldn't take it. So I'm like, no, I got to go to the hospital. So I took a shower. I don't know why I keep getting cut off, but long story short, we get to the hotel. We get to the hospital, and I was still in labor. They put me in a room after checking me in and everything like that. They was checking me, making sure, to see how far I was and everything like that. And when they checked, they said I was only 2 centimeters dilated. So I was stressing like crazy, because I'm like, damn, like now I'm about to have, they asked me if I wanted the epidural then, but I'm like, no, at 2 centimeters, like that ain't shit. Like, no. And then I'm gonna have to need it again later on. Like, no, y'all ain't playing me. No. And this will be my first time getting it and all that. No. So I was like, no, I'm gonna wait it out. Literally, y'all, like 2 seconds later, not even like, it felt like everything was just moving so fast. Like, it felt like it was like maybe like 3 to 5 seconds later, a doctor came back in, like, well, immediately started telling, my husband, like, oh, well, you know, we gotta scrub you up, like we gotta immediately, like we gotta get this baby out. And we like, what? Like, so immediately I just start breaking down because I'm like, what? Like, that was my biggest fear of like having to have a C-section, because you know, you hear all these horror stories, you know that there's horror stories regardless, or you know that there's risk factors regardless of having a child, either way, naturally, whatever. But at the same time, it was like a C-section was very scary, you know what I mean? So I was just so scared. I started crying. I was just like, oh my God. Like, and then they didn't give me no time to do nothing. I wanted to call my dad. Like, I needed him to pray with me, everything. Like, it was just a lot. And then my doula, of course, couldn't come back there with us in the operating room, but he could. So it was just a lot, y'all. It was a lot. And I did it. And I was so shook. Like, they rolled me to the back. After I had to sign some forms, he had to sign some forms. They scrubbed him down, scrubbed him up. I had to go in first because they had to numb me up and everything like that. That was the worst experience the fuck ever. Like, I don't even understand. I didn't, like, what? Anyways, worst experience ever. Hated that. Will never, ever, ever recommend that. But they numbed me down, you know, put the little needles in my back or whatever. And that shit hurted so bad. It hurted so bad, y'all. Like, excruciating, hurted so bad. Then fast forward, you know, so now they getting me prepped and everything like that. They clean me up. So now they brung him in. Y'all, so they brung him in. They started, you know, cutting, and immediately, like, I felt it. I felt it all. Like, they started to cut so that, you know, they letting me know everything that they're doing while they're doing it. So,
Too much pressure. Tell them too much pressure, baby.
so I appreciate that part. But the horror part, honestly, you guys, was the fact that I did not want to get a C-section. Like, I didn't plan on it. I had no intention on it. I knew the healing process was going to be much harder and much longer. And I just wasn't prepared for that mentally. Like, I mentally and physically prepared myself to know, like, okay, I'm going to give birth. I knew when I was going to give birth. I knew, like, the time frame of when I could, you know, kind of get back to me. But y'all, it's been rough. So I'll leave that. I'll leave y'all with that. It's been rough, but my honey bunny is 4 months old now, and he'll be 5 months this month, on the 18th. But I'm so excited, y'all. And it was, even though it was that experience, it was so worth it. Like, they immediately after the fact, like, they were so caring and they took care of me, and it really meant a lot because I had never been through nothing like that ever. That's a very, very invasive surgery, and you know, I applaud all the mommies out there that has ever gone through one or even multiple, because when I made a video about something like that on TikTok, like about C-sections and stuff like that on TikTok, go follow me on TikTok. It will be in my description. But I went, I made a video about it on TikTok, and I got a lot of feedback about, like, women saying, like, oh, I done had 3, girl, I had 4. And I'm like, excuse me? Me personally, I'm definitely, first of all, I'm done. I feel like I'm done having kids. That's one. But 2, I feel like even if I was to have another child, I would be so terrified of even trying again, due to the fact that I know that it's a possibility that I might have to have another C-section. That's crazy. And then multiple cuts and stuff like on top of that. Please, you can have it. You can have it. I do not want it. You can have it. It was excruciating. The pain was definitely excruciating, and the healing process after I went through postpartum, it was a lot. And I feel like that's something else I gotta get into for y'all, so I'm not gonna kind of like spill that tea right now. But definitely, like, the experience was what it was, but it was definitely worth it. I love my baby. Oh my gosh, y'all, he is such a handsome little thing. Y'all will see him soon, so stay tuned for that. Y'all will meet Papa soon. But he is just, y'all, like, he was so precious even from birth. Like, it was just, I was just in awe. Like, I'm gonna show y'all, like, I'm gonna try to put a video on the screen and, like, show y'all after I had him. And, like, once I was still kind of, I'm sorry, that was my thing. I was still kind of high, like, from all the drugs, but I was holding him and I breastfed him. And
I know you're tired.
him, and he latched immediately. Amazing, amazing, might I add. Great job, honey bun. But yes, he did amazing. And y'all, like, it was like, I really feel like I didn't really kind of get in depth the way I want to about like the actual, but it's just like, I feel like I kind of gotta come back. I don't know, like, it's just like the aftercare was, you know what I mean? The aftercare was a lot to deal with, like a lot to deal with. So that's why I said I feel like that's kind of another story time in itself. But as far as me having him, y'all, that was how I had him. That was how my son came into this world. And honestly, I don't regret it. I wouldn't take it back. I love him down, and I'll be back soon so that I can show y'all him. Say hi to Papa. Say hi, baby. Look. Look. Say hi. Look. Say hi. Say hi. Say hi, everybody.